Hey, thanks for stopping by Mystic Messages. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, it's good to have you back. I hope everyone is doing great today. Today's message is going to be a little bit interesting, and as always, if it doesn't apply, let it fly. You can always come back for the next one. But this one is something that I was able to channel during meditation this morning. Uh, I was receiving a few messages that the divine realm, source, and the ascended masters wanted me to get out. So here it goes. I'm sure there's many of you out there who are aware of the chaos that's going on both in the United States and the world. And a lot of this has to do with the creation of the next new world that we're working to obtain. A lot of it is distraction. Regardless what side of the aisle you vote on, doesn't matter because politicians on both sides are not working for the people of this country, unfortunately. They're just not. And not only them, but the politicians throughout the world, not all of them, but a majority who have joined forces with the politicians in the United States, are currently creating chaos and division. Now, they're working with the major churches to enhance the divisions already going on in those churches. Furthermore, they're dividing the citizens to keep you asleep. That's the bottom line. So, what you have to do is try your best not to pay attention to what's going on because all it is a distraction from the reality of what's really happening out there. Okay? The top 1% in this country want to enslave the rest of the people to continually work for them while they sail around on their yachts and fly to the moon or take trips to Mars, which is what their plan is. But just to let you know, that doesn't include the bottom half. Doesn't. It's kind of like college education, for instance. You don't need a college education to do certain jobs. Again, that was another big delusion that was created by the rich to keep the rest of the people down and working under them. Basically, what they said, if you can't afford to pay for this piece of paper, then you can't have the job that sits behind the desk and does nothing while cracking the whip and making everyone else do work. And that's basically what the plan is. So this is what we have to wake up from. We need to stop, take a deep breath, and look within ourselves and be who we want others to be through example, you know, especially in spirituality. It's not easy. It's not easy to look at another person who's doing something that's horrible and say, hey, well, maybe they're misguided, or to try to understand where they're coming from. Because unfortunately, we're at a point where nobody is communicating anymore. Everybody has put themselves on one side or the other, and it's not helping us at all. You know, go to the basic saying: divide and conquer, and it's so greatly seen here. The churches have done a great job. The major religious churches in this country, in the United States, as far including other countries, have done a great job at creating division. They're working with the governments because without us, they won't be able to supply their free ride anymore. If they have no parishioners to scare into taking money from, they won't be able to, ride on our coattails anymore. They won't be able to fly around in their private jets. They won't be able to wear the Armani suits, the gold rings, the diamonds. Now there was a few movies put out in the mid-century, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them in the description box. There'll be a link, a YouTube link, to both movies. Source would like those who are interested to check those movies out and pass them on to others because they are the perfect example of what's happening in the United States right now, including the rest of the world. Now, a lot of people dismissed these movies in the past, but they were basically omens to what's happening today. You know, so if you dare take a look, check out the movies. You might be surprised, and there might be something in there that you are supposed to receive or see. And if one of those movies does touch you, please pass it on to others. Spread the word. If you have a neighbor who votes differently than you do, try to communicate. You'd be surprised how much more people have in common than they think that they have divided. Just have to take a look within yourself and say, who do I want my neighbor to be? And the answer is, you want your neighbor to be like yourself. You want a caring, giving, loving neighbor, which is what we all should be towards each other, regardless of political affiliation. We need to get back to basics. We need to get back to the reality, to what is really happening. Now we could sit back and hide and cover our heads in the sand and say, I can't deal with this. But that's what they want. We have to deal with what's going on. And this is a very important part of the process of entering the new world that we want to have. A world of peace, joy, harmony, acceptance. And we can only get there together. If we're divided, we won't get there. If we don't try to understand each other, we won't get there. And for those who stubbornly believe that they follow politicians who do horrible things, politicians who are criminals, politicians who are bigoted towards other groups of people, regardless of who they may be, you know, take a look at yourself. If you're voting for a politician based on that, then you need to take a look within and say, is this who I truly want to be as a person? Is this what the divine has created me to be? It all starts with us. And together we can do it. We can. We just have to keep moving forward, open our eyes, and see the reality for what's going on, and not be afraid to pass along truth. Truth is very important, and unfortunately, we have lost truth in this world. Lies have become acceptable, which absolutely baffles me because that's something that personally I can't tolerate a lie of any kind, and nor do I want to perpetrate one. And I don't want to be around people who lie. People who lie are dangerous. You know, people don't realize how they're controlled by the darker forces out there. They're being used as pawns. You have to ask yourself, are you being used as a pawn? Or do you know someone who's being used as a pawn to behave in a way that is totally abhorrent? Again, just take a good look deep within yourself and be the change that you want to see. Be the person that you want to be around. Love yourself first and love others. There's a lot more that connects us than divides us. You'd be surprised. But somebody has to make the first step. And that could start with this video. That could start with watching the two bonus videos that I've placed in the description box for those who are willing to look at it. I'm going to leave it at that for today. I want to thank everyone for stopping by and spending some time with me. And, we'll see you again soon. Hope everyone does well, and I wish you lots of love and happiness. Take care.